everybody. Today we're doing a lesson about recycling. I've talked to you yesterday about how on Tuesday it's going to be Earth Day. Earth Day is a day that we remember how to learn how to take care of our planet Earth that we live on and to be kind to it. So we talked a little bit about how, like, if you were walking and you had finished up your lollipop and you had the wrapper from the lollipop, it's good to either put that wrapper into your pocket until you can find a garbage, or to go and put it into a garbage pail, but not to put it on the ground, because then that makes our planet Earth dirty. Some of the other things that we can do to recycle is to take the items, and instead of putting them into the garbage, there are certain items that the sanitation workers come and they will take those things away to be able to send them to factories to make new items out of that, such as your water bottles can be recycled, and they send them to the factories, they clean them all up, they chop them up, and then they make them into new plastic water bottles. Same thing with glass bottles. Now, different towns have different rules as to which things get recycled or not, and sometimes we even use things for art projects when we're recycling. So I wanted you to go through the items that I gathered on my table, and let's talk about whether you think that they can be recycled or whether they should be thrown into the garbage. So let's talk about this empty plastic jug that I had from iced tea. So after I finished drinking all this iced tea, what should I do with it? Should I throw it in the garbage, or can I put it into the recycling bin so we can make it into a new bottle for new iced tea? If you thought that we could recycle this, you are correct. That's the rules of my town, that I put this into my recycling bin, and once a week the sanitation workers come and they gather it all up and they bring it to the factory to make new bottles. What about things like the yogurt container? Now, these are plastic too, and so that would be something that you could recycle after it is done. Okay, what about an apple? Do you think you can recycle an apple? No. If you have the core of the apple, this would have to go into the garbage if you didn't finish eating the whole thing. And of course you wouldn't eat the core of the apple. So that would go into the garbage, not into recycling. Okay, what about soda can? After you finish drinking a can of soda, what should you do with the can? Should you throw it in the garbage, or can you recycle the can so that way new cans can be made? Yes, if you said that we could recycle the can, you are correct. Cans, plastic, glass, and paper are things that we can recycle. So what about the pretzel? If you don't finish this pretzel, what can you do with it? Can you recycle it, and can they make it into a new pretzel, or does it go in the garbage? You're right. If you don't finish the pretzel, it goes into the garbage. Most food items would go into the garbage. Sometimes people can take food and they can put it into a special container, and it actually ends up being fertilizer. But for most of us, we go ahead and we throw the food into the garbage. Okay, what about empty boxes? Like, this is a box from my toothpaste. What do we do with the empty box? Do we throw it in the garbage, or can we recycle it with other paper things to turn it into new boxes? You are correct if you thought that we could recycle this and turn it into a new box. Okay, what about this rubber glove? Can we recycle it, or should it go in the garbage? Yes, if you have used this plastic glove, it's gotten germs on it, and so we very, very carefully put it into the garbage. It is not something that we recycle. Okay, what about turkey? If you haven't finished the turkey, what can we do? Yes, it would go into the garbage. We do not recycle the turkey. What about an empty soda bottle? What do we do with the empty soda bottles? Yes, you are right. If you have an empty soda bottle, you can then put it into the recycling bin and they can take it to the factory and turn it into a clean new soda bottle. How many of you have gone to with your families to the store and helped them put the cans and the bottles into the machine to recycle? I do that, and then you get your money back too. That's a big help. Okay, what about newspapers? What do we do with newspapers? Newspapers are made from trees, and so what we can do is after you finished reading the newspaper, you put it into the recycling bin, and the sanitation workers come and they take it away to the factory, and they can grind this all up and chop it up and add water to it, and it can turn into new paper again. So newspapers can be recycled along with magazines. What about cans? Empty cans can be recycled. Again, just like the soda can, just like plastic, you can have it taken to the factory, they grind it all up, and then they turn it into brand new cans again. What about this? This is an orange, and if you haven't been able to finish eating the orange, what could you do? Or what do you do with the skin of the orange, the outside peel? What you do is you throw it in the garbage, and that way then it's brought over to, with the sanitation workers, they will bring it, and sometimes it's all ground up and it can be turned into fertilizer, but for us, we put it into the garbage. Okay, what about a watermelon? What do you do with a watermelon if you have the skin of the watermelon, the shell? You throw it in the garbage. Yes, it does not get recycled. Okay, then we have some things that are paper, which we said paper can be recycled, but this paper has a beautiful picture on it that my granddaughter made me. You can see that's me, that's Grammy, and Kylie, who you hear about a lot. So she put all kinds of gemstones and paint on it. This would not be able to be recycled. First of all, I certainly wouldn't throw it away, but if you do drawing and you put glue on it and paint on it, we don't recycle it anymore. It needs to go in the garbage. Okay, what about this thing? This is an egg carton, and people can recycle this. The other good thing about egg cartons is they, along with things like paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls, are great to recycle, to either send out with the sanitation workers in recycling, or they're really, really good for making art projects because they're unusual shapes, and so you can recycle them by using them for art projects. If I was to put it on like this, it would sort of look like a train with kind of wheels and a smokestack. Or it could look like a boat. Or it could be a dinosaur with scales on the back. Or it could be a lobster with all the bumps on the back. You could use your imagination to recycle these things, which means to use again for a different purpose. Okay, so that's our lesson about recycling. Remember to take care of our planet Earth. Not only on Earth Day, but every day is Earth Day. I'll see you another time. Bye, guys.